Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There are various conceptions of God or the Supreme Being or the Supreme Reality. Some people conceive of the Supreme Being as someone who speaks from the top of a mountain. Some people conceive of God as someone who gets killed, tortured and killed, and then comes back to life again. Some people conceive of the Supreme Being as someone who fights with a cock and then sits on top of it. Cock is a male chicken. You know, come on, Tamil people. It's only in Tamil Nadu you hear about these things. Elsewhere no one cares for them. Most people kill a cock and eat it, but he killed it and sat on top of it. So we are worshipping Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it's probably better that you don't sit with your back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What's special about Krishna? Well, many things could be said about Krishna, and in fact, all the greatest people in the universe, that's all they do, they talk about Krishna. One thing that Krishna is famous for is for stealing butter. That's something wrong, isn't it? Stealing butter. But it's not very wrong. I mean, if he's God, he should do something if you're going to do something wrong, it should be very wrong, shouldn't it? Whatever he does, it should be something extraordinary. Like throwing almost everyone into hell forever without any chance of coming back again. Krishna, he also does. He creates millions of universes. He not even really creates, he just sleeps, that's all. And when he just breathes when he's sleeping, all the universes come out of his body. So if he creates millions of universes when he's sleeping, you can imagine, what does he do when he's awake? And the answer is that he steals butter. Of course he does many other things, but you may wonder that seems to be very strange. Brahma vichitramana, is it? Very strange. In any language. I mean, there's something wrong. It doesn't set a very good example, does it? I mean, what if we're going around distributing Bhagavad Gitas, and as a result, all the dairy shops get raided. We're distributing this Krishna book, and someone gets caught stealing, and he said, well, Krishna did it, so I did it also. So indeed it is Brahma vichitramana. It is very strange, because Krishna, he is described as Atmarama, he is satisfied in himself. And he's Apta Kama, all his desires are fulfilled. Then why is he stealing butter? What kind of God is that? Well, the obvious answer is that he does that to reciprocate love with his devotees. Yeah, in Chennai, if you want butter, you just go out and purchase it. I don't think fresh butter is not very easy to get, huh? Not in the shop. It's mostly with all preservatives like this, is it? But the Nanda Maharaj, he's from the cowherd caste. So all the Vrajavasis, they're mostly all these cowherd people. So they look after cows, and they milk the cows, and from the milk they make yogurt, and from that they extract the butter. That's the system. So it's a lot of work, but they're happy to do it. But all the Vrajavasis, they all love Krishna. It's an unusual thing that even though they all have their own children, they love Krishna more than their own children. And actually they want this butter, which is their pride, because their whole jati is just for making milk products, protecting the cows and making milk products. So they're very happy actually when Krishna takes their butter. If Krishna just asked for it, they would have very happily given it to him. But Krishna doesn't ask for it. He takes it by all tricky means. He'll release the calves before the cows have been milked. So when the people of the house are all trying to pull the calves away from the cows so they don't drink all the milk, then Krishna runs inside and breaks the butter pots and steals the butter. Sometimes in the middle of the day, the elderly gopis, they'll sleep right under where the butter pot is hanging. They'll take rest there, and they think Krishna can't take, but they'll wake up and all the butter is gone. So it's great fun for Krishna. Sometimes the owner of the house will catch Krishna and say, "You are a thief!" And little Krishna will shout back at them angrily, "You are a thief!" Which, if you want to get philosophical about it, there's not that much philosophy in Vrindavan. But actually it's a fact. If you think that anything belongs to me instead of to Krishna, then your attitude is that of a thief, because everything belongs to Krishna. So and you need to move that. So in this way, Krishna, he enjoys naughty pranks, and the devotees, they also enjoy them. Although it appears that they're upset, but they're actually in complete bliss that Krishna is taking their butter. Butter, yogurt, milk, everything. They're all different stories. How sometimes Krishna will come, the gopi is standing there guarding the butter. Krishna comes with his mouth full of milk and blows it all in her eyes. And then when she's all confused, can't see anything properly, then quick, expert thieves. So Krishna, you see, he doesn't have to go to school or be trained. He's expert in everything because he's Bhagavan. Even from the beginning of life, he doesn't take any training how to steal and cheat and lie. He's expert just by himself. So then all the gopis will go and complain to Yashoda, and it's very embarrassing for her that not only that her son is so badly behaved, but it makes it seem like she's not feeding him properly. Her butter's not good enough, so he has to go steal somewhere else. So Krishna's standing there looking completely innocent, as if he could never do any mischievous activity. It's not possible. So in this way, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they are becoming more and more ingratiated to him. Krishna, he shares his love not only with his own family members, but with all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Now, Krishna, he's stealing that butter. You can say the main point is that he wants to share some loving exchange with his devotees. But there's at least one other very important reason why he steals butter. Can anyone suggest what that is?
It's to feed monkeys.
To feed the monkeys. Yeah, that's true also. Yeah. He feeds, of course, he does it with a gang. He feeds the cowherd boys also. And then he feeds the monkeys also. And then when he's caught, the people, they say to him, "You're stealing our butter." He said, "Why should we steal your butter, you see? Even the monkeys won't take it, because the monkeys they're already full with the butter. They won't take any more." And Krishna says, "Steal your butter? Who will want to steal your butter? The monkeys are already lying on their back." But I thought of another reason also. There may be so many reasons. To get chastised. To get chastised by Yashoda. Maybe in a roundabout way.
Krishna's own desire.
It's his own desire. Well, that doesn't really explain it, does it? It's also true. Okay, what's this? Well, you got something? Some conference going on here. You're offering grains. It's good for health. He's enjoying it. Yeah, everything he does for enjoyment, yeah. Yeah, well, one reason is that he likes butter. He's makancho. He's not mangs machlicho. I don't know how you say in your Tamil. He's not stealing meat or fish or any such things. He likes very much butter, milk, yogurt, all these things. So you all have to offer these things to Krishna. If you want to please Krishna, you should offer him these things. Actually, we should offer, just like we were in the bazaar, we should just take it all here, cook it all, and give it to Krishna. Steal everything in the bazaar, and then bring it to Krishna and offer it. Now I might get arrested. See, I'm inciting people to do illegal activity. So all kinds of nice food we should offer to Krishna. But some people, they don't offer everything, but at least they offer some milk or some makan mishri. If you don't offer anything else, then at least you should offer some milk products. Actually, we should offer everything, but minimum we should offer. But just see how fortunate are the gopis of Vrindavan. When we say that these are not the gopis that Krishna is dancing with, that comes later. That's their mothers. See, when people become very spiritually advanced, then they become devotees of Krishna. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sadurlabhaha. After many births of being a dry jnani, just boring, then you surrender to Krishna. Maybe. Some of them surrender to Krishna. Then we have to serve Krishna. Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi yat, yad tapasyasi kauntaya, tat karushma madarpanam. Everything should be offered to Krishna. Everything that we do, everything that we eat, all austerities, all charity, everything should be done as an offering to Krishna. And food, Krishna, he's a good eater. He has a good appetite. He can eat as much as you give. He doesn't get indigestion. So we see especially in Puri and in Nathdwara, huge amounts, all varieties, opulent food is offered daily to Krishna. And Krishna digests it all. Only one time a year, that's now, he's sick. That's Jagannath in Puri. He catches a cold after having a big snanam. So only at that time he takes some, doesn't stop eating even then, but he takes some food with some special herbs. But generally he has a very good appetite. And then when he comes out on the Rath Yatra day after being sick. And traditionally all the pilgrims coming, they would all offer him food. So he eats like whole fields full of. So many people are making an endeavor to offer food to Krishna. But the gopis of Vrindavan are so fortunate, they don't even offer it. Krishna comes himself and steals it by force. That is the perfection. The devotees are praying, you please accept this food. The gopis are saying, don't take, and still Krishna is taking. So there is no comparison with the bhakti of the devotees, the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Now these kind of topics, they're only be discussed among devotees. Non-devotees won't find any interest in this whatsoever. They may think it's just, Ramba Vichitramana in another way. Why people, you see these are grown-up people, educated people, and they're talking about some child stealing some butter, going on and on and on. Is there nothing more important to talk about? Don't you know what's in the news? What's in the news? Politician is corrupt. That's everyday news. Oh, Swami Nityananda is getting arrested, right? Did he get arrested yet? They caught him? He surrendered. He surrendered. Not to Krishna. He surrendered to the police. Yeah. He may say, it's all my Leela. Well, I guess Kamsa, he was also just like that, trying to arrest Krishna, right? Of course, there's a big difference between Krishna and someone who's imitating Krishna. Krishna never surrendered to Kamsa. Krishna was tied up by Mother Yashoda, but the greatly powerful Kamsa, who all the demigods feared, he couldn't do anything to Krishna. So that's why we're discussing. We should study Bhagavad Gita, go through all 9 cantos of Bhagavatam, understand how great is Krishna. Then we will appreciate how fortunate are the Vrajavasis. Aho bhagyam, nanda gopa vrajokasam, yan mitram paramanandam, purna brahma sanatanam. Shukadev Goswami, in the course of narrating Krishna's pastimes to Parikshit Maharaj, says in great wonder that Aho bhagyam, how fortunate. And again, Aho bhagyam, he says twice. Nanda Gopa, Nanda is a cowherder, and all the residents of Vrindavan, all the living beings in Vrindavan, that their very close relationship of friendship and love is with Krishna, who is the supreme, ultimate, complete reality, full of bliss, full of the topmost bliss. Nice. But ordinary people, they are abhagya. They have no good fortune. They have no interest in such stuff. They'll say, what interest is this to me? I have so many of my own problems. Money problem, legal problem, family problem, health problem. So, alright, you should hear Bhagavad Gita. Try to understand why we are in this miserable situation. Because we want to keep everything for ourselves, because we don't want to offer everything to Krishna, because we do not... Because we do not take pleasure in hearing about Krishna. Therefore we have to suffer. Birth after birth. Until we take pleasure in hearing about Krishna, then we shall be entangled in birth and death. But just consider, whatever your problems are, they've come, they will go. Whatever problems you have, in due course of time, they will be finished. At the latest, by death, your problem will be finished. But then, that's not a solution, because you'll get a new body with a new set of problems. But just consider, everything in this world is subject to change. But, just as Krishna was stealing butter 5,000 years ago, he's still stealing butter. There are innumerable universes, and in one universe, the pastimes of Krishna are going on. He's an incorrigible thief. I don't know what the word is. Means you can't, you can't stop him. You can't convince him. It's a case of, you can't straighten the dog's tail kind of case. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava Arjuna. Krishna said to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, both you and I have taken many births. So every time Krishna steals butter, and he's going to go on also. So we have our problems. They all come and go. But the butter stealing continues, and the speaking Bhagavad Gita continues, and the dancing with the gopis continues, and the Rukmini Kalyanam continues. All this goes on continuously. This is reality. All our problems, they are not reality. They're just like some dream. It comes and goes. So when we get keyed in to those pastimes of Krishna, then we no longer have any existence separate from Krishna. And then we have no more problems. We may say, well, it's a problem because Krishna, we're going to so much effort to make the butter, and then Krishna comes and steals it. That kind of problem is a very desirable problem. That is pure bliss. When we have that kind of problem, then we have no more material problems. So by Krishna's Leela Shakti, the gopis, they actually feel very upset that Krishna is stealing their butter. But that upset or that disturbance they feel in their mind, that is just another transformation of transcendental bliss. All bliss. Krishna is the very naughtiest child possible. And there's no straightening him out. Even when he gets older, he still doesn't behave properly. Now, if we say this among non-devotees, that will make them more atheistic. Some people say the same thing, but in a very envious way. Just like Shishupal, he protested when Nakul promoted Krishna as the person who should be worshipped first in the Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthira. So Shishupal protested. He said, you see, this person, no one really knows who he is. So Shishupal said it in a very envious way, but actually it's true. Shishupal said, you see, he started off as a cowherder. Now he's like a kshatriya, he has no fixed caste. So that's also true. He doesn't belong to any caste. But Shishupal said it in a very envious way. And he said, you see, he killed his own relative, this Kamsa. So that's also a very good quality of Krishna, that to protect his devotees, he has no, he oversteps any material boundaries. But if we discuss these topics among non-devotees, they will take it in another way. So these topics should be discussed, but only among devotees, not among demons and atheists. So generally we should discuss what is the philosophy of life, how we have to get free from birth and death. But among devotees, we can also sometimes discuss what are the very sweet pastimes of Krishna. Why does Krishna steal butter? Who can understand? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does everything just to increase the bliss of his devotees. So the acharyas who are all very, who have commented on Bhagavatam, they're all very intimate devotees of Krishna. So they have given us some ideas of how Krishna is doing this, how he's increasing the pleasure of his devotees. So following the descriptions of the acharyas, we can discuss these things. Generally people have no idea, people they say that they're worshipping God, but they have no idea what they will achieve after getting the mercy of God. Just like the Christians, they say you'll go to heaven, but they don't have any real idea what God is doing there or what you are supposed to do there. But in the Bhagavatam, we get to find out who is that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if we are that fortunate, we can go to the spiritual world and make all kinds of arrangements to stop Krishna stealing our butter, and still he'll steal it. That's the kind of thing that goes on in the spiritual world. We have authorized information from Vyasadeva. Ramba Vichitramana. Very Adbhutamana. Who can understand? It's inconceivable. You can add another word to your Tamil language. Achintyamana. In books only. But if you say it, I think people won't understand. You have to study Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy. Then you can know what is Achintyamana. Or another word that's often used in Chaitanya Charitamrita, a similar word is Chitra. It means like that, Vichitra. But it means something amazing. Some more thoughts about Krishna's stealing butter. In respect to him being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full with all opulences, among which 6 are prominent. Aishvaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasya shriyaha jnana vairagya yoschaiva shannang bhaga itinyana. The first of these 6 opulences that are mentioned are that Krishna owns everything. Everything belongs to Krishna. So really he's not a butter thief at all. He's just taking what is his own, and if anyone thinks that I have something separate from Krishna, there's something for me to enjoy, and that's for me, not for Krishna. Well, such a way of thinking is a thief's mentality, because everything belongs to Krishna. So actually the residents of Vrindavan, they wanted Krishna to take from them, and it's a leela that not that they're in the demoniac attitude of thinking that I am separate, I have anything separate from Krishna. But in their pastime, they seem to have that mentality, just so that they could enjoy the frustration of trying to hide their butter from Krishna. But everything belongs to him. So he wanted to enjoy what the elderly gopis, while making the butter, they were thinking how nice it would be to feed this to Krishna. But Yashoda Mai, she has to feed him. But it would be nice to feed this to Krishna. Krishna thus fulfilled their desire, because everything belongs to him. So he has all Aishwarya, Samagrasya, Vir, all power, virya, energy, heroism. Now, stealing, for a child to steal butter is not power or heroism on the level of Lord Shiva destroying the residences of the demons, or any great power. Bhima and Arjuna defeating the forces of the Kauravas. But for a little boy, that's very bold to be so brazen as to secretly enter others' houses, knowing that it's wrong and that you could be punished for doing that, and to be not afraid that he'll be caught. Although sometimes we see there's also one it's a picture into the spiritual world of Krishna and Balaram hiding, with Yashoda Mai coming with a stick to punish them because they've been stealing butter. So it's at great risk and with great prowess and heroism, Krishna leads his army of naughty young boys to steal the butter. So Krishna shows his heroism and virility. That word virya, virility, that can be related in stealing butter. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasha, yasha, Krishna's fame. Krishna is so famous as the butter thief. Even now in India, or among Hindus, if you say Makhan Chor, the butter thief, they immediately know that you're referring to Krishna. So he became famous by stealing butter, which is pretty good, because there are so many great thieves in the history. Alexander the Great, Srila Prabhupada recounted the story of how Alexander the Great, he wanted to punish a thief. And the thief said to him, well, I'm just a small thief and you're a bigger thief. So by heroic activities, so many thieves, Hitler, he also stole the land away from the people who were living there. But Krishna, by the simple, charming and seemingly insignificant act. Of course, in a village, what elsewhere would be considered insignificant can become, it's the talk of the village. Someone's goat strayed into someone's field and ate the crops, and becomes a big issue in the village. But not elsewhere. it's something to be significant, there has to be a very big news, but Krishna is famous as the butter thief, which goes to show that his pastimes, his charming pastimes, they are more significant than all the politics and the wars and all the goings on in this world. They capture the hearts of his devotees so that even now he's famous as the butter thief. The next mentioned is Shriyaha, beauty. So Krishna is always very beautiful. But when there are daubs of butter smeared on his face as he eats in a not very sophisticated way, so a lot of butter comes around his mouth, and then among the friends they may throw pieces of butter at each other also. So Krishna looks even more beautiful when he's decorated with decorated means definitely not in an orderly way, but with little specks and daubs of butter scattered and spattered here and there on his face, that he looks even all the more beautiful. In Jnana, Krishna has all knowledge. Even though the gopis, they hide the butter from Krishna, but Krishna is too cunning for them. Somehow or other he finds out where it is, and he also, even though they put it very high, or they put some device to try to prevent Krishna from getting it, but Krishna is so intelligent, he always finds out some means to climb up and get the butter. And Krishna's, the last of the 6 qualities mentioned, Vairagya. Now that might seem a difficult one, renunciation, because where's the renunciation in stealing and eating lots of butter? But that's also demonstrated in Krishna's butter-stealing pastimes, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's entitled to be worshipped and glorified in the most magnificent manner, but leaving aside the opulence and grandeur of Vaikuntha, he prefers to be a naughty little boy in Vrindavan. So in that way his renunciation is also demonstrated. He is preferring to be with the simple rural people of Vrindavan rather than the royalty of Vaikuntha. So in this way his renunciation, actually Vairagya means non-attachment, that's also revealed in this charming pastime of Krishna. Itidrik swalilabhir ananda kunde swaghosham nimajantam akhyapayanta. By these childhood pastimes, Krishna is announced, by these pastimes they announce to the world how the residents of Vrindavan are simply immersed in pools of bliss. Pools of just immersed in bliss of Krishna's childhood pastimes. Now, if there's a dangerous thief in the area, and all the local people will be afraid he's going to come and steal from us, and they're always thinking about him. So, Krishna is a very dangerous thief, because for the cowherd people, all their activities, looking after the cows, collecting the milk, making the butter. So all their wealth is in those products, and Krishna just comes and breaks all the pots, steals it all, is completely reckless, doesn't care at all, and smashes all that thing, takes it all. So they're always thinking of Krishna. But the nature of Krishna and the nature of his devotees is that they love him. So instead of becoming more and more fearful of him and inimical toward him, they love him more and more and more. He makes by stealing their butter, he makes them think about him more and more intensely. Externally, they feel we don't want Krishna to steal. We'll do what we can. We'll prevent him. He's coming. But all the time they think, how will we stop Krishna stealing? And then when he steals, although externally they show displeasure, they're very pleased because it shows Krishna likes their butter, and that becomes all their activities are geared toward making that butter, and then Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and they want Krishna to enjoy. So actually, they're very happy. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That's what I had to say now. You can give the mic. Will it go that far? আপনি ইংরেজিতে বলুন, সে তো বাংলা জানে না। আপনার কথা আমি বুঝতে পারি, কিন্তু আমার এবং আর 2-3 জনের ছাড়া আর কেউ বুঝতে পারবে না।
You said that everything should be offered to Krishna.
Yeah.
So how I offer to Krishna? Suppose my daughter is cooking, she is not devotee. Sometimes I am cooking, I am not devotee. But how it is possible to offer to Krishna?
Then you be a devotee. You are a devotee. But a devotee doesn't think, I am a devotee. But still, we should follow the process of sadhana bhakti, and under the direction of the acharyas, under the rules of Shastra, we should offer to Krishna all that we eat. We're not qualified to offer directly to Krishna. So, in the archan vidhi, in the way of offering, according to Shastra, then ado Guru Puja, first we offer everything to Guru, and through his agency, then he offers to his Guru, next he offers to his Guru, and in this way it goes up to Krishna. So that's it. Alright, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we'll finish there.
Hare Krishna.